so good to have him back. It's great seeing him today. When he walked in, it was just great watching our players respond. They were on the floor stretching, and he came walking through this end zone right here, and they saw him. They all jumped up, and I was afraid they were going to hurt him. But it was great, and it really is. It's great to have you back, man. It is. God is good. He really is. Tough game in terms of, I thought both teams played hard, really hard, especially on the defensive end. And as we knew, we'd be in long possessions, and I didn't think our offensive execution was very good, other than the fact that we were getting fouled, but we didn't capitalize there. And then it made it tougher to move, and then guys started holding the ball. And but when you look at what we did defensively, sometimes you just got to find a way to grind it out and win it, and that's kind of what we did tonight. And I've told our guys before, there's just some nights where the ball's not going to go in, and you've got to find a way to be in some of those games. And again, Georgia Tech played hard. Their offense is difficult to defend, and with their movement and their cutting, I thought we did a good job there. I thought tonight was the first time all year that we missed Lamonte, because I look at the minutes. Eve getting in foul trouble hurt the rotation a little bit. Grant getting in foul trouble where we had to set him there. I thought Kyle was terrific. I thought Kyle did a lot of great things for us. His ball screen defense was good, and he had as tough a job on the floor as anyone, because with their motion, he had to help with cutters and then get back and deny his man the ball because they played through the elbow so much. And but I thought he was really good. I thought John Fulkerson, energy again, came in and put us through there. We need to get more of a push on the offensive end, and we're not getting it the way we need to. And some of that has to do with people being so concerned about our inside game. They're going to get back and hope that we'll settle early, and there's a fine line, a balance that we're trying to find where we work to get it there. And it doesn't have to necessarily mean putting the ball to Grant. We just want to attack the high. We want to get fouled, and that's important tonight. And I told our team, even though we missed 14, 15 free throws, anytime you make more than your opponent shoots, you feel good about that. I thought we had some careless turnovers at the very end. We just didn't take care of the ball. We definitely didn't execute the last 3 possessions offensively, what we were trying to do. Why, I don't know, but we'll get it fixed, because maybe it's fatigue. Because again, these guys, this is the most minutes they've had to play with everything that we've done so far this year, and maybe that has something to do with it. But nonetheless, it was we got to win over a good basketball team.
I think opponents are shooting now below 30% against you through 3 games. Just how do you feel about where your defense is at right now?
I thought it was really good tonight against a team that, Josh has been there. He's ran this system, even though he's got some different guys. They know their system, and it's a lot going on within that offense. There's a lot of different actions that you have to defend. I do think our guys were very alert with our scouting report in terms of playing defense against their man the way we wanted to. Zone, we go into games, and overall I think the zone was probably pretty good. We were able to extend a little defensive there and create a turnover when we needed it and take some time off the clock. But again, I think defensively tonight was probably, I'll be shocked when I look at the tape, it wasn't our best effort defensively in our man against a team that, like I said, that really runs some good stuff. They put you in long possessions. We were in some very, very long possessions. We rebounded the ball. You look at it, Bowden had 11 rebounds, but Grant, again, has got to be more consistent. He only had 1 rebound in the first half. But he can't have 4 turnovers, and he's trying to do too much, where he's got to move the ball and let his teammates play, because when he holds the ball like that, turns it over, it just bogs down everything. It messes up our flow. And so we were just struggling there. And the free throws, again, has something to do with it. There's no doubt about it. If we'd made some of those free throws, we maybe could have stretched it out and felt more comfortable, but we didn't.
Coach, it looked like you had several guys tonight that didn't let their offense affect their defense. Jordan Bowden or Admiral, neither one of those guys shot it great. Fulke didn't hit a shot. But Is that a sign of a mature team?
It is, Rob. You know, and again, we know, and again, when you get in games like this, and you need games like, because we're going to have some more. I promise you, we'll have some more like that, where you've got to you got to hang your hat on something. And for the last 2 years, we've tried to hang our hat on our defense. We really have. And you're right. When it's not going in, there's a tendency for guys to start pressing on the offensive end and trying to get too close to the basket, and that's where we were losing the ball. But yeah, I thought those guys, and I thought Folke's blocks and his energy really helped us. We needed Eve. There's no doubt we needed him, and I don't know why he went in the game in the first half. I mean, he went in sub. You know, I think he heard his name, but we didn't want him in there, and he picked up a foul. But I guess he doesn't understand my English, you know. But the fact is that shouldn't have happened, but we needed him. We needed his minutes tonight.
Coach, we saw it a little bit with Grant last game and a little bit with Kyle tonight, knocking down the 3 ball. How much do you think it'll benefit your offense going forward, having big men that can spread the floors along with your guards?
Well, it will. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, tonight we were 4 for 12, you know, from the 3, and Bone, you know, missed a couple. Admiral missed some, but yeah, those guys work on it, and I'm glad that Kyle walked in there and shot it. I mean, he spends a lot. He really has. Kyle's going to keep getting better this year. I'm convinced he's going to get better as the year goes on. But if he can do what he did tonight, because he did a lot that did not show up on his stat sheet. I mean, his ball screen defense was good. He does a lot of little fix-it things where he really, you know, he's a very important part of what we're doing.
Rick, I know Georgia Tech, you know, kind of runs a lot of guys out there and plays pretty hard and kind of gets in your face a little bit. But was tonight any kind of a reminder for the guys of, you know, with y'all's profile now and the way, you know, the name's gotten out there in the top 5 ranking, that this is how people are going to try to play against y'all, to come at you and be physical?
That's exactly what I told them at halftime. I said, you guys don't think that people are going to give you those Herculean-type efforts now. You'll find out. And if we're smart, it'll help. It'll make us better. It will make us better. If we embrace it and know, it'll make you better, because you know you can't not have a good night. And but there's going to be nights like this, and I give Georgia Tech credit. I thought Josh had his team well prepared. It's quite obvious their mindset was to make it really difficult for us to score around the basket. And when we hold the ball like that, we're a much easier team to guard. We've got to trust what we've worked on and what we practiced. And but yeah, I don't think there's any question that if that's not a reminder, tonight certainly is one, that people are going to come at us. I mean, why not? It's a chance for them to do something. And this team, I will say this to you, we're where we are because of what we did last year. So it's still a matter of what is this team going to prove that they can do, because we still haven't totally defined ourselves in terms of, you know, again, tonight we put a big emphasis on rebounding. I thought we did a better job with that than any point in time this year. 50-50 balls, we were down there, you know, I think battling for those type things, but we're still trying to create our identity like I think most teams are. But this team's got to embrace what you're talking about, because it's real. Whether they believe it or not, they're going to find out it is real, that people are going to come at it.
How has Lamonte handled this? Is he patient with it? Is he wanting to come back? What's going on?
How's he handled it? Well, I think the biggest thing, he wants to get healthy, because you know, I think that's the biggest thing, and we want him to be healthy, and I think he certainly has in the last couple weeks done all that he can do to rehab it, get it back, and so yeah, I do think that he wants to. I mean, we need him. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, we knew that. We know that. I mean, he's a very integral part of this team, but. I'm happy with our guys that we've been able to get through 3 games without him. And of all those games, I said earlier, tonight would have probably been the one that he would have impacted more than any, because we needed that third scorer tonight. We definitely needed that, because Grant and Admiral they were struggling, and we know that he's a guy that can create some offense. And but I do think he'll be ready in New York. I do think that's been the timetable pretty much, and but he'll be a little bit. This next couple of days will be important for him to get himself back in his wind back and play in shape, and so we're going to need him to do that.
Coach, did you get a chance back here?
Okay.
Did you get a chance to say hello or visit briefly at all with Shambari Phillips, and what do you think of him on the other side?
You know, I've always loved Shambari, and he was here when we first got here, obviously, and all I got to say to him was in the line. I asked him, I said, good seeing him, give your mom a hug for me. She's a wonderful lady. And, you know, we really felt at the time, and I think he felt at the same time, that he needed a new start, a fresh start. And I think that, you know, when Josh and I talked, and I told Josh, I said, yeah, you should want him on your team. And tonight he probably put a little pressure on himself, which you somewhat expect that. But I do think that Georgia Tech's going to be a good basketball team this year, and I think he's going to play, you know, 20, 25 minutes a game based on what we've seen up to this point. Tonight he played with 22, so I think he'll be a good part, and we hope that those guys have a good year, and I hope Shambari does well.
Going back to Lamonte, was that something he aggravated at all during the Tusculum exhibition? Because he played 15 minutes in that game.
No, I think, you know, he's had 2 surgeries, one on each shoulder, and I'm not sure if, you know, sometimes when you rehab it, one side works for right sides, never giving me problems. This one's irritated him, and it's basically, I think, tendonitis. And I don't know if he probably, I would say, you could ask him that, but I would think he probably irritated more in practice. And Lamonte's a gym rat, so he's in there all the time, and it got where he just couldn't pick it up, and it was affecting the way he shot the ball, it was affecting the way he passed the ball, and it was affecting him where he was avoiding contact when he was trying to screen. And he just, again, he wants to be at his best, but I do think he and Chad and those guys have worked hard now to where he, I do think it became a very much a mental thing with him. I do, because he is a competitor, and for him to say that he can't go, believe me, he can't go, because he's that kind of person that he would never not play if he could. All right, thank you guys.